This is the Rain 5G Premium, the most expensive internet package that Rain offers in South Africa. And here was my experience. So of course, to order this thing, you have to go to the website, which is rain.co.za, and then you register an account, you add your payment details, your address, and then they'll ask you to check the coverage in the area before you can order it, just to make sure that you actually have 5G in your area. So after you place the order, they then will give it off to a courier service to deliver it to you, and the courier service claims that delivery will take anywhere between 3 and 5 days. Now in my case, it was the Sunday, other than a Sunday, and then I ended up only receiving it on a Thursday. So that was actually 3 days after I ordered it. So it seems like the deliveries are arriving on time. So one interesting thing that you will notice is that unlike the cheaper packages on the Rain website, this one, they do not actually mention the speed of the Wi-Fi. That's because it's very inconsistent. And that's because depending on where you live, these speeds are either going to be very impressive or they're going to be very disappointing. For example, I've seen some people on like the internet, they posted their internet speeds and they were able to get like over 400 megabits per second of download speed. However, in most cases, the speeds won't actually be that good. So if I put the router in my parents' bedroom, like directly on the windowsill, what I find is that the speeds will be about 300 megabits per second on the download speed. I've got it right now in my bedroom. It's only getting about 150 on average, and then sometimes it'll go up to 200 megabits per second. Now, one cool thing about the Rain 5G network is that you don't get a soft cap like you do with other providers. So what that means is you can use as much data as you want to and they won't slow it down. Because I know with like some of the telecoms options, if you use like after like a couple hundred gigabytes, they'll slow down your speed to like 8 megabits per second or something like that. So luckily there's nothing here. You can use as much as you want and they won't stop you. And also, one benefit of why you might want to go for this premium package compared to the standard Rain 5G is the fact that here they don't actually limit your streaming resolution, because I used to have the Rain 5G standard, right? And with that one, they would limit your video streaming speed to about 1080p resolution. If you went for the 4G package, then it would not really be possible to get HD speeds. Like sometimes you'd get 720p, but in most cases, if you wanted a reliable streaming resolution, you'd only be stuck at 480p resolution. However, with this Rain 5G Premium is that there's no limits. So that means that if you want to stream 4K, you can do that, no problem. Like there's no buffering at all. It runs well. And if you want to, you can even try 8K. However, my MacBook is unable to handle 8K, so I couldn't really have a practical use for it. However, it does run. Then of course, once you take the router out of the box, one thing that I noticed right away is that compared to last year, this router is much smaller and it's no longer a Huawei router. It must be like a ZTE or something like that. So surprisingly, unlike the last time that I ordered Rain 5G, this time there was no waiting time after I set it up. Like the moment I set it up at like 1 in the afternoon, it started working right away. So a bigger improvement compared to last time where I had to wait like until like 6 at night for it to start working. So for those of you who care about the specifications of this router, it's capable of Wi-Fi 6, because like on my Samsung phone it'll show like a 6 on the Wi-Fi thing. You have dual band Wi-Fi and it supports both 4G and 5G, but it's locked exclusively to the Rain network. And you don't get a battery in the box. So if you want to use this thing during load shedding, you will have to have a UPS or a solar or generator in order to be able to use it. This one requires about 24 watts of power, so no, you can't use it with a power bank. Power banks cannot like handle. Now, one thing I will say is that 90% of the time that you have this internet, you will not ever need the full speed of this 5G package. So like 90% of the time, I'd be totally fine with even the 5G basic package, because the internet speed on there would be enough. So the difference, that 10% is really only when you download big files off the internet. For example, you're downloading a video file. Let's say you edit videos, you get paid to edit videos, then you'll be downloading your client's video files, right? And that's where the speed would come in. Or maybe you play lots of games, right? And you want to download a big Call of Duty update. Then those are the times where you're going to notice the speed difference a lot. For example, with the speed that I am getting, it would theoretically be possible for me to download a update for WhatsApp on my phone in like 10 seconds, which is very fast. Or if I want to download a big mobile game, like for example, Asphalt 9 or Quad Mobile, it would only take me about 2 to 3 minutes, which is much better than waiting like half an hour just for it to finish. Now, Rain 5G is sometimes actually too fast. So for example, when I'm downloading off certain websites, those websites will never use the full speed of the Rain 5G. For example, if I download a piece of software off of GitHub, I find that the speed never goes above 50 megabits per second. It never goes higher than that. In this case, there's actually no real benefits to going for this one. I'd actually be fine with just the normal 5G standard option. However, when they do allow you to use the full speed, then it's absolutely great. For example, you could download a whole 50 gigabyte PlayStation game in like 15 minutes, which is a huge time saver compared to like having to wait overnight for it to finish or something like that. Now, unfortunately, the one time where rain isn't really fast enough is when it comes to upload speeds. I can get up to 8 megabits per second up. However, on average, it usually chills around 2 to 3, which is really bad. I'm pretty sure mobile data on like a 4G phone would upload faster than that. So what that means for you is that if you're someone who, for example, uses iCloud and you take lots of photos and videos and then use iCloud to back them up, it's going to take a very long time for all those videos to get backed up to the cloud. And that might actually be annoying for you if, for example, you want to share them as soon as possible. And even when it comes to sharing email attachments or connecting to a Microsoft Teams, uploading email attachments, they'll take really long to upload, or the video will sometimes lag and then you'll disconnect for a bit and then you might have to ask the person to repeat what they were saying, and that can be a bit of an issue. However, thankfully, I've been using Microsoft Teams and the upload speeds haven't really been much of an issue. And then now let's talk about load shedding. So of course, load shedding is not going anywhere anytime soon. So compared to last year, the load shedding performance is much improved. So they've made it so that if the 5G towers stop working, then the router will connect to the 4G network. So of course you won't have as fast of an internet, but ironically, I found that the upload speeds on the 4G were faster than on the 5G. So when it comes to like 2-hour load shedding, it should work fine, but I haven't really tested it enough on like longer load shedding, like for example 4 hours long. So I'm not really sure if it's still connected at that point. But even other network providers like MTN already struggle quite a lot after like 4 hours of load shedding. So even when the power does come back, I find that the 5G will take a while to reconnect, and sometimes it'll take like an hour to do it. And even this one time, it just didn't want to connect at all. So I had to like do a factory reset on the router itself just to get it to connect to the 5G again. So would I recommend Rain 5G? So it really depends. So if you're someone who lives in a house with like many other people and you all like to use the internet to like watch TikTok or YouTube videos or whatever, then you'll find that the speed on this thing is going to be very good for that. And you're going to have like almost no complaints when it comes to like video streaming or downloading big files off the internet. However, if you're someone who really relies on things like cloud services like Google Drive or iCloud, and you have to like constantly upload things onto the cloud, then you'll find that the Range 5G will not really be good enough. So I'd say for about most people, this should be good. However, I would highly recommend that maybe you go back to the 5G standard instead, and that might still be good enough for you. And if you don't like it, you can always just cancel. There's no penalty for canceling Rain 5G. Keep in mind that Rain uses a postpaid service. So when you cancel, it doesn't just stop the payments. There'll still be one more payment that you have to make afterwards. Maybe it's just me, but I don't remember them mentioning that on their website. So I hope I helped you. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Thank you for watching.